Earlier this year, when we marked the 50th anniversary of the March in Selma. We remembered the iconic images of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel marching with Dr. King, praying with his feet. To some, it must have seemed strange that a rabbi from Warsaw would take such great risks to stand with a Baptist preacher from Atlanta. But Heschel explained that their cause was one and the same. In his essay, No Religion is an Island, he wrote, we must choose between interfaith and internalism. Between a shared hope that says together we can shape a brighter future. Or a shared cynicism that says our world is simply beyond repair. So the heritage we celebrate this month is a testament to the power of hope. Me standing here before you, all of you in this incredible congregation, is a testament to the power of hope. It's a rebuke to cynicism. It's a rebuke to nihilism. And it inspires us to have faith that our future like our past, will be shaped by the values that we share. At home, those values compel us to work to keep alive the American dream of opportunity for all. It means that we care about issues that affect all children, not just our own. That we're prepared to invest in early childhood education, that we are concerned about making college affordable. That we want to create communities where if you're willing to work hard, you can get ahead the way so many who fled and arrived on these shores were able to get ahead. Around the world, those values compel us to redouble our efforts to protect. our planet, and to protect the human rights of all who share this planet. It's particularly important to remember now, given the tumult that is taking place in so many corners of the globe. In one of the world's most dangerous neighborhoods. Those shared values compel us to reaffirm that our enduring friendship with the people of Israel and our unbreakable bonds with the State of Israel, that those bonds, that friendship cannot be broken. Those values compel us to say that our commitment to Israel's security and my commitment to Israel's security is and always will be unshakable. And I've said this before, it would be a moral failing on the part of the U. S. government and the American people, it would be a moral failing on my part if we did not stand up firmly. Steadfastly, not just on behalf of Israel's right to exist, but its right to thrive and prosper. Because it would ignore the history that brought the State of Israel about. It would ignore the struggle that's taken place through millennia to try to affirm the kinds of values that say everybody has a place, everybody has rights, everybody is a child of God. As many of you know, I visited the houses hit by rocket fire in Sderot. I've been to Yad Vashem and made that solemn vow, never forget. Never again. When someone threatens Israel's citizens or its very right to exist, Israelis necessarily that seriously. And so do I. Today. The military and intelligence cooperation between our two countries is stronger than ever. Our support of the Iron Dome's rocket system has saved Israeli lives. And I can say that no US president No administration has done more to ensure that Israel can protect itself than this one. As part of that commitment, there's something else that the United States and Israel agrees on. Iran must not, under any circumstances, be allowed to get a nuclear weapon. Now, there's a debate about how to achieve that, and that's a healthy debate. I'm not going to use my remaining time to go too deep into policy, although for those of you who are interested, we have a lot of material out there. The deal that we already reached with Iran has already halted or rolled back parts of Iran's nuclear program. Now we're seeking a comprehensive solution. I will not accept a bad deal. As I pointed out, in my most recent article with Jeff Goldberg, this deal will have my name on it. So nobody has a bigger personal stake in making sure that it delivers on its promise. I want a good deal. I'm interested in a deal that blocks every single one of Iran's pathways to a nuclear weapon, every single path. A deal that imposes unprecedented inspections on all elements of Iran's nuclear program, so that they can't cheat. And if they try to cheat, we will immediately know about it and sanctions snap back on. A deal that endures beyond a decade, that addresses this challenge for the long term. In other words, a deal that makes the world and the region including Israel more secure. That's how I define a good deal. I can't stand here today and guarantee an agreement will be reached. We're hopeful. We're working hard. But nothing is agreed until everything is agreed. and I've made clear that when it comes to preventing Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, all options are and will remain on the table. Moreover, even if we do get a good deal, there remains the broader issue of Iran's support for terrorism and regional destabilization, and ugly threats against Israel. And that's why our strategic partnership with Israel will remain. No matter what happens in the days and years ahead. And that's why the people of Israel must always know America has its back, and America will always have its back. Now, that does not mean that there will not be, or should not be, periodic disagreements between our two governments. There will be disagreements on tactics when it comes to how to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. And that is entirely appropriate and should be fully aired. Because the stakes are sufficiently high that anything that's proposed has to be subjected to scrutiny, and I welcome that scrutiny. But there are also going to be some disagreements rooted in shared history that go beyond tactics. That are rooted in how we might remain true to our shared values. I came to know Israel as a young man through these incredible images of kibbutzim. And Moshe Dayan, and Golda Meir, and Israel overcoming incredible odds in the '67 war. The notion of pioneers who set out not only to safeguard a nation, but to remake the world. Not only to make the desert bloom, but to allow their values to flourish. To ensure that the best of Judaism would thrive. And those values in many ways came to be my own values. They believed the story of their people gave them a unique perspective among the nations of the world. A unique moral authority and responsibility that comes from having once been a stranger yourself. And to a young man like me, grappling with his own identity, recognizing the scars of race here in this nation. Inspired by the civil rights struggle, the idea that you could be grounded in your history. As Israel was, but not be trapped by it, to be able to repair the world that idea was liberating. The example of Israel and its values was inspiring. So when I hear some people say that disagreements over policy belie a general lack of support of Israel, I must object, and I object forcefully. Before I came out here, the rabbi showed me the room that's been built to promote scholarship and dialogue. And to be able to find how we make our shared values live. And the reason you have that room is because applying those values to our lives is often hard. And it involves difficult choices. That's why we study. That's why it's not just a formula. And that's what we have to do as nations as well as individuals. We have to grapple and struggle with how do we apply the values. That we care about to this very challenging and dangerous world. And it is precisely because I care so deeply about the state of Israel, it's precisely because yes, I have high expectations for Israel the same way I have high expectations for the United. States of America that I feel a responsibility to speak out honestly about what I think will lead to long-term security and to the preservation of a true democracy in the Jewish homeland. And I believe that's two states for two peoples, Israel and Palestine, living side by side in peace and security. Just as Israelis built a state in their homeland. Palestinians have a right to be a free people on their land, as well. Now, I want to emphasize that's not easy. The Palestinians are not the easiest of partners. Risks with their security, so that any deal that takes place has to take into account the genuine dangers of terrorism and hostility. But it is worthwhile for us to keep up the prospect, the possibility of bridging divides and being just. And looking squarely at what's possible but also necessary in order for Israel to be the type of nation that it was intended to be in its earliest founding. And that same sense of shared values also compel me to speak out, compel all. Of us to speak out against the scourge of anti-Semitism wherever it exists. And in recent years, we've seen a deeply disturbing rise in anti-Semitism in parts of the world where it would have seemed unthinkable just a few years or decades ago. This is not some passing fad, these aren't just isolated phenomenon. And we know from our history they cannot be ignored. Anti-Semitism is, and always will be, a threat to broader human values to which we all must aspire. And when we allow anti-Semitism to take root, then our souls are destroyed, and it will spread.